What is up, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? I am of course the Joker, and today on my channel I'm actually doing something a little different. As the title says, I'm actually going to do my first ever set talk. Now, I really want to actually talk about the set that we have officially been given, which is Circuit Breaker. It's now officially released to us, so that's why I really want to make this video. I didn't want to make it originally a week or two back when it was first announced, but then I realized, you know what, I want to wait till a few sneak peeks come out. I want to see what the probability of pulling these cards that we really want are. And I just want to see the entire set revealed in general, so that's why I wanted to wait till now and just really give my opinion on this set in general. If you're thinking about buying this set, I really want you guys to watch this video first, know what you're getting into, know what you're going to buy, and if anything, if it's better to buy the singles as it usually is, or if it's actually worth buying the set for a change. Now, with this video, I do want to affect 5 different people. Now, with Yu-Gi-Oh, there's thousands of different kinds of people out there. I'm personally a meta fun player. I like to play meta, but I also like playing fun, and I like to collect a little bit. But with Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion, there's 5 main groups, which is of course the meta player that only plays to win really, or just plays the meta stuff. Then you've got the casual fun player who just enjoys playing the game and will play really anything that enjoys having fun. You've got the beginner who's just new to the game, and you want to help him out as much as they can. That's the kind of people I want to help the most. I love helping all of you, but if I can help the beginner, that's the person, like, when I go into Yu-Gi-Oh, there was people helping me, and I want to pass my knowledge on that they gave to me, so that's why I love helping all you guys. Then we've also got the collector, and we've also got the seller. These people are either looking to get all the cards, or just get a quick profit. Now, those are the 5 groups I really want to hit with this video. I'm not going to be stopping and saying, this is particularly said to this person. I'm pretty sure you guys can put it all together. But without further ado, let's just get into this set. And I'm actually going to be showing the pictures of the cards right over this way, sorry. So if there is a card that, I might not stop it and explain it a lot, it's going to be shown right here. So you guys can pause the video if you want and read the card through if you guys really want to. And any card I do not mention in this video will be displayed at the very end. And it's just going to be shown as a whole bunch of pictures. They'll quickly slide over and all that. So if you want to see all the cards towards the very end, definitely stay tuned to them. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So with the new set, we are actually given 4 new archetypes. If you don't already know, we've been given the Meta Fees. This is a banish heavy deck. They banish a lot of their cards to pull off a lot of combos. It's pretty fun. We've been given the Rockets, which is pretty much the new, it's a weird machine kind of deck. It's not quick OTK just yet, but it can pull off some fun combos. And a lot of these cards at the moment, like all the cards that have been released for this deck, is like either ultra rare or secret rare, which is really cool to see. But if you're a collector, this is definitely a deck you want to be collecting because it's a really nice deck. But if you're a meta player, it's not a deck that really can pull off a lot of wins. But that's why I'm just showing it right here, so you guys can read the, right over here, so you guys can read the effects if you guys really want to. I know I skipped over Meta Fees, but there's not really much to be said about them. Then we've got the Altergeist. Now, these cards are really weird, really unique, but it's mainly a link spam kind of deck, which is what I think they're trying to build it to, like they did with the Gokis, but this is just a new take on it. It's a little bit different. And they've been given quite a few cards with this deck, so with this set, so if you want to actually build this deck, this isn't a bad set for you to pick up, but if anything, at this point in time, it's probably best to just buy the deck cores as it usually is. Then for the last archetype we are given is Crawlers. Now, Crawlers are really weird. They've been given link monsters, and they do look pretty cool, but the problem with this deck is a lot of their effects are based on flip effects, which, as we all know, do take a while to pull off. So, it's not going to be pulling off quick plays and all that, but it still is a decent kind of deck that you can always play as fun. And with all these 4 archetypes, at the moment, they are not yet meta, but Spirals was once laughed upon, and now it's pretty much tier 0. So, and all the cards are really expensive, so who knows what's going to happen with these cards. This is just my personal opinion of making this video. Then moving on to the decks that actually get some support. The first deck I want to be talking about is Vendreads. Now, Vendreads are personally my new favorite deck that have come out from this set. Like, I still have my favorite decks of Toons and Nurseburn, but from this set that's been released and the set prior, so far my favorite deck that's been released from this is Vendreads because it is zombies, and they've been given a link monster, they've been given a field monster, they've been given a trap, they've given more monsters. So I can really see this deck getting more and more support, which I really hope it does happen, because one day I do hope to make this deck and just have it fully powered as it should be. Then we've got two of the Lunalight cards. Now, a lot of us have been waiting for this card for these two cards for a really long time to pull off those combos. I feel as if it came a little late because, if it came before the Link format, it would have been a lot better. There would have been a lot more viable. This deck would have been played a lot more, but I feel with the Link format, until we get even more support now for this deck, you might not be seeing it that much, but it's still a fun deck to play. Then we've got two new Trickster cards. Now, I know a lot of us are probably sick of the Trickstars because of their OTK burn, but with these two cards that Konami have given them, it's not going to change their plays whatsoever, really, in my opinion. They are nice cards, but really, they're not going to be changing the combos they pull off. It's a Link monster and a monster that can be special summoned. But really, if you want to be going for those burns, I've made a deck profile if you guys want to check it out. But I mean, that deck is purely and simply, it doesn't even need to go into the Link build and the Link format. And really, with this deck, you want to be pulling off those OTKs. There is the Link spam version, but there are two different ways to play it. Just the main versions, and then there's thousands of other ways. But really, these two cards don't make much of a dent on the deck, nor do they really change it that much to the point that you might need to buy them or you might not need to. Then we've got a lot of new Cyberse support, there's a lot of new Cyberse cards in this deck, which is to be expected. Now, this deck, at the point of time, personally, I'm laughing on it. I know I'm the Joker, and that's why I'm laughing on it, of course. But seriously, at this point of time, it's not powerful yet. I really do hope it does get some support because it is quirky, it's funny, it's, originally supposed to be the first Link spam deck that came out of the series. But, at this point of time, it's not that great, but hopefully it does get more support. Then we've got two new Goki cards. We've got some more Link support for that deck, which, it's already a Link spam deck, but the more and more Link spam monsters it gets, it can potentially make it better, of course. We've got some World Legacy cards now. This deck, of course, isn't probably going to change a lot with these cards. Honestly, because the build that's already been made, it still works pretty well, but, nothing wrong with getting some more cards for a deck. Then we've got some FA support. I know I'm pretty much skipping over these pretty quick, and if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video at any time. Of course, I'm going to be, easing them right here with the pictures of all the cards, so you can pause at any time if I'm talking too fast. I'm really trying to give this video, quick and easy and help you guys as much as I can, because that's what I'm here to do. But of course, the next deck that gets support is FA. And, FA is, it's not a powerful deck yet. It's probably never going to be a powerful deck in my opinion. But it's still a nice, fun deck to play. And then we have some Amazonas support, and we've got some nice fusion cards for this deck, which I'm showing right here. Honestly, when you guys asked me to build an Amazonas deck, that's why I wanted to wait till this set came out, because I thought, when we get these cards, this deck can pull off some spicy OTKs, which, who knows, if you guys really want me to build this deck as you once did, I will be happy to make it. Just comment down below, of course, I'll be happy to make it. Then for our one-off support cards, we've got some cards that just got basic support. I'm going to show them all at the same time, because I'm going to pretty much skip them over. We've got some Mermail support, and you can read the effects right there. Some Subterra, Fire King, Lyricist, and I probably said that name wrong. If I have, comment down below and I'll learn to say it correctly as I try to do with all these cards. And then we've got some Mecha Phantom Beast. But honestly, with all these cards, I'm going to say all in general, they're pretty basic. They're not going to be helping the deck that much to pull off a lot of plays, but it still is pretty decent if you want to be playing those decks. And now, of course, moving on to the chase cards. Now, of course, I'm going to be showing all these cards at once again. We've got Evenly Matched, and this card at this point of time, before pre-sale, before the set even came out, it was $80. Now, this card has, of course, gone down a little bit in price, but it is a really nice card, and if you're able to pull it, then absolutely great to you, but if you're able to pick it up from a trade or anything, probably do that. But, if you have the money, if you're a meta player and you really want to spend the card, I'm not telling you not to, but seriously, I'm personally not going to because I don't have the money to spend on those particular cards, but that's just me. Then we've also got Barrel-O Dragon, which is a pretty cool card. It can pull off some nice plays, and it's really nice. And then we've got the Magician card. This card, it's pretty decent. It can pull off some fun plays. I say pretty decent because you might not use it in every deck, but it is still a card that you can use in your deck if you really want to. Then for the cards that, they only work in some decks, or, these two cards I want to specify, and you can see them right here, Overdone Barrel and Fuse Line. Now, the reason I'm bringing up these cards is because at this point in time, there isn't really plays that you can do with them. There isn't decks that they can go into that is really great. I mean, I was thinking Barrel would be great for a DDD deck. You can mill one of your DDDs and then special back one of the lower ones, but then it's like, that's too much of a hassle. You don't really need to do that. And the DDD build I've made, like, if you want to check that out, of course I've also done that video. I've done a lot of deck profile videos, and like, if you want to check that out, there will be a link to that in the description down below. Same with the other deck I said before. But then we've also got the Squid Draw and Quick Launch. I want to say these together because they are rocket support, and you know, rocket support is absolutely amazing with the fact that this deck so far has just been ultras or secrets, which is really nice to see. But you know, at this point in time, I'm personally not going to be playing it, but you know, if you guys want to, feel free right ahead. And then of course that Vendread that I spoke of before for the Vendread support is a secret, which is really nice, but it's one of the cheaper ones. And then for our last chase card, it's not a secret, but you probably are expecting it as it's right there. Sorry, right there. And it is the Spiral Double Helix. Now this card is great for Spiral decks, of course. It's making this deck tier 0. You know, this deck is just getting better and better. If you guys didn't buy this Agents like I didn't, I'm really sad and really annoyed that I didn't buy a lot of these cards when they're cheaper. But you know, if you didn't buy them before, now they're a lot more expensive, which really does suck. But you know, if you're able to pick them up before they're expensive, you know, definitely play this deck because it's going to be a lot of fun and you're going to be winning those tournaments, even if people hate you. You know, if you're going into tournaments, you really want to win, but if you're playing for fun, be a little nice, you know. Then for 2 honorable mentions, which I'm going to be showing right here, is the Burguska. Now, I'm probably saying this wrong, but you know, it's still a nice card. It's a rank 4 monster that we can bring out. And then we've got the Destrudo, which is a nice card for those machine decks. Mainly probably going to be using those ABC decks, but it's still a nice card to pull off and can play and really help you with a lot of different combos. Then there are 2 cards that I actually wanted to mention. Now I'm bringing up Beryl again because, you know, as I said before, it's not a great card at this point in time, but you know, who knows what's going to happen in the future, who knows what Konami has planned. But the other card that I wanted to mention is Ojama Duo. Now, honestly, everyone was saying, like, this card is really great. It goes with Ojama Trio and you can lock down your opponent. Now, this would have been great before Link format because now your opponent can either go, you know, use those tokens to either go for a Link Spider if they're running that, or they can go for Firewall Dragon if they're running that, or they can go for Proxy. Like, literally any of them that require normal monsters, they can just bring that out, which is seriously annoying, but, you know, it can pull off some spicy plays right there. And then, the last thing... Sorry, I also want to mention Burning Bamboo, and I know I mentioned this a little bit randomly, but, you know, Burning Bamboo, at this point in time, although it might not be OP, if you can think of the potential of this card, like skipping your opponent's main phase where they can't do anything, if you can continuously do that, that's really going to annoy them, but it's going to be really fun. And then, the next thing I want to be talking about is, you know, there is no staple cards with this set, and that's why I know there's going to be a circle and cross right through of saying there are no staple cards in this set, in my opinion, that we can easily afford. Now, that's not saying that Evenly Matched isn't probably going to be a staple card, but of the staple cards that we can afford from this set, there isn't really any. I mean, Barrel Dragon is really nice, but if you're not running a Link deck, of course it's not going to be needed for you. But probably the only one that is really a main staple that we really want to be getting for ourselves, and hopefully gets reprinted, if Konami decides to be nice, but you know, they weren't nice for Ash Blossom, so who knows what's going to change. But you know, that's a really nice card, and if you're able to get it, definitely run it. Seriously, put it in your side deck, run it in your main deck. You can use, it's literally your personal hand trap. It's literally a trap that you can use from your hand, and these cards are really annoying, but you know, it's really fun. And then, you know, my personal cards that I want to just mention before this video ends is there, although I've said a lot of bad things about this set, you know, there aren't many great cards that we want to pick up for everyone, and at this point of time, my opinion is, you know, just buy the singles. Unless you're wanting to get all the cards for yourself, it isn't really worth it. But, you know, that's just me. I'm saying that it's not really worth it, only because, from what I've seen, you know, you're not going to pull off a lot of the things. If you've seen any of the sneak peek openings, that's why I wanted to wait to this point of time to make this video, because if you've seen any of the people that open a sneak peek, they're not half the time pulling off the cards they want, so it's always better to buy the singles, unless you're looking into collecting the entire set for yourself, or if you're wanting to build all the decks and you just think, you know, if I spend $100, because I honestly wouldn't spend more than $100 in this set, and that's including postage for that. Honestly, I wouldn't spend that much because you're not guaranteed to always get the cards you want, and if you wait a little bit with this set, as you should with every set, the cards are going to come down in price. So probably just wait till then, but as I said, there are a few cards that I do want from this set, apart from the Vendreads, there actually are a few. So, although I might not be picking up the entire set for myself, because that's not my plan, if anyone has these cards when, you know, of making this video, or if anyone pulls these cards and I still don't have them, you know, check out my trade folder. If that needs to be updated, I will do that. But I will happily trade for the Vendread cards, or I will happily trade for these cards. And although they are ridiculous, they're right here. And it is Halo and Muscle Medic. Now, the reason I want these two cards is because I love my nurse card related cards. Anything that has a picture of a nurse, even if it's a dude, the fact that it's a dude is really funny. So I could potentially make these into tokens and use them for my nurse burn deck, or I could just put them in my collection. And despite that, even though they're so cheap, and that's why it makes them so cool to me, it's just really nice to see. And if they make more and more nurse cards, I will really thank Konami. Like, if we can make that a thing of just more powered nurse decks, I will be super happy by that. But, you know, those are the two cards I really want, apart from the Vendreads, and of course, the secret, most unattainable, really hard card to get, Evenly Matched. Now, I really want those cards, and, you know, I'm probably not going to get Evenly Matched, much like I still to this day don't have Ash, only because of its price. I want Konami to reprint it, you know. If they reprint it, like if they reprint Regeki and some of the other cards we really wanted, we will know that Konami has a heart and they're not just wanting to get our money, but that's just me. You know, comment down below what your opinions on Konami are, and try to keep it a little safe. I don't want this video removed by them mysteriously. But, you know, that's just my opinion on it. The set, like, if you have any other opinions, feel free to comment down below. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to do that. But, you know, that's just my breakdown on Circuit Break, what we're getting in the set, what works so well, if it affects the metal, which really, apart from Double Helix and Evenly Matched, it doesn't affect the meta that much at this point of time. So, you know, it's a nice set to want to collect, but if you're looking at playing into the meta, as I said to all those people, this isn't probably the set for you unless if you can just buy those cards singly. Now, that's just my opinion. As I said, feel free to comment down below, and if there is any other decks that you want me to build as usual, or if there's just any video that you guys want me to make like this, or just anything else in general, feel free to comment down below and I might do just that. And till then, until the next video, that is it for the Joker. And of course, before I finish off, this is how I'm going to finish it. As I said, all the pictures of the cards I did not mention in this set are right here.